Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Name. Today we're diving into something that impacts just about everyone who codes, manages projects, or collaborates within tech, using AI tools like GitHub Copilot in our coding workflows. Now I know what you might be thinking. AI in coding, really? How much can it help? Well, stick around because we're going to unpack that today. Let's kick things off by envisioning a common scenario. Picture this. You're knee-deep in a project, lines of code blinking on your screen, and then suddenly you hit that wall. You know what I mean, the dreaded developer's block. You sit there, staring at the screen, wondering if that next line of code is really going to solve your issue or just lead you further down the rabbit hole. But then, imagine you have an assistant by your side, suggesting lines of code, fixing bugs, or even helping you draft comments for your complex functions. Sounds pretty dreamy, right? That's exactly where GitHub Copilot comes in. GitHub Copilot isn't just any AI tool. It's like an intelligent pair of extra hands that learns from countless coding practices and offers suggestions in real time. It's powered by OpenAI, which means it can adapt and learn from the patterns of how we code. But let's not get too lost in the techie weeds just yet. So, why should we care? Well, first off, it significantly speeds up our coding process. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out the syntax or logic for a simple loop or function, Copilot can come up with that for you. How cool is that? It's like having a mentor who's constantly there, ready to help you refine your approach. Now, you might be wondering, does it always get it right? Well, like any AI, it's not perfect. There are definitely times when it stumbles, and you'll need to review the suggestions it gives. This is where it gets interesting. It teaches us to collaborate with technology. Instead of solely relying on our own knowledge, we begin merging our intuition with AI's recommendations, and that can lead to some pretty creative solutions. Speaking of creativity, let's consider another aspect: code reviews. How often have you struggled with providing feedback on a colleague's pull request? Having an AI suggest improvements could streamline that process, offering a fresh perspective that we might not have considered. But it does make you think, are we ready to embrace that as a part of our coding culture? Now I'm curious, do you think tools like these will eventually replace coding jobs or just make developers' lives easier? I mean, if we think back to when calculators were first introduced, there were plenty of skeptics, but I think we can agree they didn't replace mathematicians, right? Instead, they became an extension of our ability to solve complex problems. All right, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. Adopting AI tools like GitHub Copilot forces us to adapt our workflows and open ourselves up to new possibilities. It encourages learning and collaboration in an exciting way. And it's a reminder that technology, when used thoughtfully, can enhance our creativity rather than diminish it. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this conversation or have thoughts about how AI is changing coding, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe shoot me a message on social media or leave a comment wherever you're tuning in. Until next time, keep coding, keep collaborating, and let curiosity lead your journey.